Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show Podcast. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Rab, it's Christmas Eve. What are you doing making a podcast? Well, yeah, you're quite right to ask. But, yeah, come on. Over the course of the holidays, ourselves and the Big Rab Show, we don't really take a break. Yeah, we like to bring you some big interviews over the course of the holidays, and, yeah, we're starting off strong, of course. This week, the title of the show kind of gives it away who we're talking to, Mr. Bob Worrall. Now, before we get into everything with this week's pod, let's get through our introductions, though, first of all, then, shall we? Yes. If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, well, Merry Christmas. What a time to join us. But, yeah, you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, which is competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the Great Highland Bagpipe and its people. And, yeah, like every other podcast under the sun, time to plug our Patreon. Yeah, you can head over to Patreon and, yeah, help support your own little favourite bagpiping podcast by clicking on support and being part of the Patreon faithful. Indeed, yeah, there's tons of extras back there, loads of exclusive performances, interviews, videos, backstagey type of stuff from some of the biggest shows of 2025. Yeah. Episodes of Rab Show Plus, our weekly Fuse FM Ballymoney radio show is up there, so you can download away at that as well. Last night's was an absolute cracker. Pardon the pun. But yeah, you can go and download that and take it with you, of course. And yeah, you'll be kept up to date on all the latest goings on in the piping scene. There you are. All right, so yeah, shout out to our Patreon faithful. Thank you all so much for those who have clicked on support. You really have helped support us over this last number of months. We've noticed quite a big jump in numbers recently. There you are. Right, so, well, with each and every Big Rab show, we normally do open the door to listener mail and weekly drone and all that sort of stuff. But as you might have guessed, this is the first in a series of special episodes over the course of the holidays that was recorded a little while ago. Yeah. Thanks to the magic of radio, this was pre-recorded, as they say. But yeah, this now in turn enables us on the Big Rab Show team to take some time off and spend that time off with friends and family and get some well-earned practice done as well. Yeah. So, yeah, right now we're going to be getting into a series of interviews. And as I said, this is the first one where we're going to welcome back Bob Worrall to the Big Rab Show pod. Now, for those of you who have been following us here for a long enough time, you will realize that, yeah, we welcome Bob onto the show each year around this time of year. He's affectionately called Mr. Christmas around here. Yeah, that's his nickname that he's sort of earned around here. But yeah, it's just brilliant. What a great conversation we're about to have with Bob. I'm looking forward to this. But just to let you all know, this is a specialist episode, and the next few will be specialists as well. We have some big interviews in the can for you. That's, yeah, looking forward to getting into. But yes, as it's pre-recorded, we will not be having any sort of listener mail this week or weekly drone for that matter. Yeah. So ourselves and the Rab Show team, as we take our well-earned break, we are still receiving your correspondence. So please do keep them coming in. If you do find yourselves with a bit of time over the course of the holidays, well, yeah, send us in your emails. bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And we'd always love to hear from you. And of course, you can visit our website as well, which is thebigrabshow.com. And there's a big red button at the top of the page that says Weekly Drone. Click on that and you can let us know your thoughts and feelings, warts and all, and we'll bring them to a future episode of the show as a weekly drone. Yeah. Now, on this week's show, as I say, we will be chatting to Mr. Christmas, and we get into it, I think, in this one. It's quite an entertaining one, this. So, yeah, why delay any further? I think it's time for me to take a wee break at this point, but I'll be right back, of course. with Mr. Christmas, Mr. Bob Worrall. Ever wish you had a piping teacher on call 24/7? Well, now you do. Introducing the Interactive Player, a game-changing new practice tool at Dojo University. Play along with world champion pipers while the notes on your sheet music light up in time. Loop tricky phrases, slow down tough sections, zoom in to focus, and build speed automatically. It's like having a teacher right in your practice room, showing you how to master every tune at your own pace. So, sign up for a free trial today at pipersdojo.com and start learning smarter with Dojo U's Interactive Player.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band Supplies for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Ghillie Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also, shipping worldwide. So, stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
So, welcome to the podcast. It's the holidays. Of course, we have to have Mr. Christmas back on the show. Yay!
Mr. Christmas, I don't know about that.
Bob, how are you? First of all, how are you keeping?
Great.
Yeah.
Keeping very well. All the Christmas shopping is in progress. The Christmas decorating is done. And just getting the social calendar all organized and having people in and going out for supper and seeing friends. It's going to be great.
Oh, excellent. So, I don't know, what does the holidays look like for you? Like, this is obviously a time of year where everyone can kind of take a step back and relax for a bit. Do you get that opportunity yourself?
Yeah, it's interesting. In the U.S., they just had their Thanksgiving celebration, and that's a huge deal for them. Our Thanksgiving is a month earlier. And by the way, I must state, if you Google this, you will find out who had Thanksgiving first. The first Thanksgiving was in Canada, not the U.S.
Oh,
it was
really?
in Canada.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So it's fine. They copy us in a number of things, and that's just one of many. The Christmas season for us is a big deal. In terms of having people in, the big supper and the presents and the tree and the decorations. And I'm old school. I know most people that I know have gone to artificial trees, not me. And I come from rural Ontario, and I'm old school. It's Christmas cards. It's a real Christmas tree, lots of decorations and inflatables on the front lawn, all sorts of tacky things like that. It's great.
Excellent.
But it's just this wonderful time of the year for those of us who are extremely busy and on the go all the time, to finally catch up with friends and relatives and have those celebrations. And that's terrific. Love it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I have to say, my missus and the kids are so happy to have me under their feet and talking about pipe bands around the dinner table each night. So I'm sure by this point, by the time this episode gets out, they're like, would you ever get back to the studio and start talking out there? Oh, excellent stuff. Well, holidays aside, Bob, 2025 has been quite a busy year for you. You've been everywhere this year. Tell us about your year in 2025. It's been hectic for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of adjudication throughout Canada, East Coast and out West, and throughout the United States, and of course over to the UK, and did some judging at the Europeans, and and then of course was busy the Day of the Worlds with the live stream, and then of course the broadcast, and a few things all lined up for this coming year. In fact, I think I'm booking a flight today for Zimbabwe to work with those kids down in Harare at St. John's School.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Wow, what a story that is, honestly.
It's an incredible story.
Some
it really
amazing
is.
work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. So you're heading out there then to give them a hand?
Yeah. Might be about half a dozen times I've gone to work with them.
Oh.
But other than that, it's just I like to be busy, and when the spring arrives and the snow that we've got in the ground out here now, when that melts, it's garden cleanup time. Get into the garden. I'm really happy when digging in the dirt. That's when I'm in my happy place.
Yeah.
And get going on raising moths and butterflies and all sorts of crazy things like that I do.
I love all that. You know, I follow the progress on your socials, so I do. And I was like, oh, they've hatched and everything. Like, I love following all of that. Yeah.
It's good fun. It really is good fun.
Oh, it is, absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things that I really wanted to pick your brain on this time round, I know we bring you on the show each year, and we kind of ask the usual fare. And we'll get into the world's live stream and all of that. But I wanted to ask you about the Glenfiddich Championship. Yeah, can you tell us about that? What a heck of an experience there.
It's great. It's great. And it was super this year. I did not have to adjudicate or do the MC bit. And then I thought, it'd be kind of nice to go and just listen.
Yeah.
And so, I got my tickets and just went over as an audience member, which was lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And, I'm looking forward to well, I guess I kind of do that on the Saturday at the Worlds, but I'm getting very close to the line in terms of that age number where I will be always listening from the sidelines at competitions. And I'm kind of looking forward to that, not having to make decisions and stuff.
So it's a completely different dynamic, though, isn't it? From being up there as MC or even, as you say, as an adjudicator with a clipboard, and then being able just to step back and enjoy it more as like a lover of the music. So that's the reason I wanted to ask you about the Glenfiddich. I knew you went as a spectator. So did you find the event enjoyable then? More enjoyable, I guess. Yeah.
Really enjoyable. And just as a spectator, and I guess it's kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen in a couple of years for me, from a pipe band standpoint for the RSPPA, when I would not be adjudicating. I have to say the most difficult thing for me adjudicating the bands, in particular the higher grade bands, is you've got friends in all of those bands, very dear friends.
Yeah.
And when you're adjudicating, it's the friendship clicks off.
Yeah.
You do the job, but you can't socialize with your friends when you're adjudicating. That's really, really difficult. So, if it's a week where I'm going to be adjudicating a championship and it happens to be grade 1 or grade 2, I cannot be hanging out with my friends.
No, there you go.
And I'm looking forward to the day when I can hang out with my friends and not have to worry about kind of the optics of all of that. And it's going to be good.
I know, yeah, that is an element of things, absolutely. And it's a concern as well, because absolutely, adjudicators are absolutely fans of this music as well, as much as we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and getting back to the Glenfiddich thing, the interesting thing from a solo piping standpoint, those 10 players who played at the Glenfiddich are all good friends of each other.
Yeah, all mates.
Absolutely. And so it's a very different dynamic there, and it's a very healthy dynamic, I might add.
Oh, that's it too. That sort of came through from the after party. Now, thankfully, thank you for uploading like little video clips and stuff of the afters. Now, people don't normally get to see this. It's, it's black tie and all that. It's all very cool. But then they all play together. They all walk on playing tunes together, and it's all a big hoolie. It's fantastic. Can you tell us a bit about that? The after of the competition. What happens?
Yeah. Well, see, then it shuts down. Okay, so the Cayley shuts down, and then there's a little bar around the corner. So you come upstairs, and there's a bar in there, and that's when the real Cayley starts.
I see.
And it will go till all hours. And last year, I actually went to bed relatively early, and I avoided that little bar, and and I heard what happened. But apparently, the manager was coming along saying, you got to shut this down. It's done, And they're going, no, it's not, And this is a once-a-year thing. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, this year they didn't even try to shut it down. They just let them go at it.
Just let it
and
go.
As I understand, it went to like 5 in the morning. So some of these big names in piping, both judges and players and that, were just partying till all hours of the morning and having a great time.
Yeah,
and of course,
fantastic.
Believe it or not, one of the leaders of the pack in that, when it comes to the creative stuff on the pipes, yes, is one Stuart Little.
Yeah.
So,
he can party.
That's no surprise.
He can party.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have seen and heard tales of when Stuart can perhaps get up on top of tables and start thumping tunes and doesn't bat an eye. You know, it's crazy. But that's all part of it, though. Like, as much as we're competing against each other, you mentioned it quite well there. You know, we are all mates in this. You know, we're all one big piping family. We all know each other.
We are blessed. We are so blessed to have this.
Oh, for sure.
So blessed.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know what I would talk about if I didn't have it. You know, it's a weird thing. But yeah, absolutely. The camaraderie, that especially that I witnessed at this year's Glenfiddich in particular, it was just really heartwarming. You know, where everyone was...
And the young guys coming into and having the older guys embracing the young guys, and it's one happy group. It really is.
Absolutely. No, it was great to see. And everyone arm in arm singing and dancing. It was just so great to see. Yeah. So, well, obviously, we're going to now have to get into this year's World Championships. And did you have any time at all to check out the Pipe and Live Festival with all of that, the lead up to it, Bob?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But I emceed the Shots concert, and that was, there were so many kind of historic moments in that concert, and just well constructed. You know, every year people come away saying, "Oh, that was a great concert," or you'll hear, "Oh, that was one of the best." And this year, one of the standard lines was, "That was the best." The bar just keeps being raised in terms of doing something different, doing something creative. You know, at the end, having all of the performers, and in fact, Jackie Bird and I managed to hook Jackie into coming on to help introduce one of the numbers. And we had to go on stage with the whole band and all the other performers, dancers, etc. And Caledonia was sung with the whole audience singing. And that was quite an emotional moment.
It was.
And for Jackie and myself, this was for the Worlds. And of course, it started with just the TV program, and then 4 years later, the live stream started. But this was our 20th year.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I didn't have gray hair then.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know it was 20 years.
Yeah, that was 20. That was 20 years. Yeah.
There you go. That's incredible. What an anniversary! Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad you mentioned the Shots concert, because I remember catching up with you on Glasgow Green not long after that and telling you off, because you completely fooled me. You had me. You know, you were saying, "Oh, here, we're going to do a bit of a tribute, but you know, Rab Matheson can't make it, so sorry, folks." And I'm like, that would have been so cool. But hey, you know, he sent us a wee video clip, and you see him next to the pool, and he's playing a tune. And next thing,
yeah.
What? We all lost our minds. I don't know. What was the roar like when you were up on stage?
Oh, it was fantastic. And the interesting thing is, it was one thing to see it at the rehearsals when they were doing it.
Yeah.
And then when he came on stage and we were doing it at the concert, you saw the Rab we all know. Boom. He was back in the role, and he was the showman, and it was just incredible. The reaction was incredible. And there's some people who are actually sitting in the audience with Anne, and that, and they said,
"Oh, right,
Anne's here." We saw Anne, like, he's
trying
not
to
here.
put two and two together. Yeah. I love
or
that.
people saying, "I think we saw him at one of the pubs this week. He was in town."
Love that. Oh, it completely had me hoodwinked. Absolutely. So, no, I was kind of furious. Right, I'm going to talk to Bob next time I see him. He absolutely fooled me. But that's all part of the show. It was just a big moment, you know? So, no, fantastic. So, but also, I don't know, I have done compare at gigs and things like that myself, you know, and I get absolutely terrified stepping out there to talk. Now, if I had a drum on or even pipes under my arm, I'm quite happy. But see, talking in front of an audience of that size, Do you ever get nervous yourself?
Totally.
Really? That's good to hear. I'm so glad.
It's, the first time you go out at the start of a show like that, you have to talk yourself out of that kind of nervousness, because you have to realize that, so many of the people in the audience and so many great friends are out there, and they're rooting you on because they know that you got a lot of tension in the gut over this whole thing too, and of course you don't want to mess up. There was one point I went out to do a number and I left my notes, and I said, "1 minute, I'll be right back." And you just have to go with the flow, and that
you do.
But
absolutely,
there's absolutely a nervousness to that. I would say it's a very different kind of nervousness and anxiety when you're talking to a live audience, as opposed to a live audience that you can't see in the live stream.
Yes, a completely different dynamic, that. Yeah. I'm sure that if you did think about the numbers, though, that tune into the live stream, it might put you off altogether. Because there's
don't say that.
There's so many. Yeah,
I know.
It really is truly international. And I was getting emails from people from the likes of South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. They were all tuning in at the one time. It's around the globe. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And the thing that I have in my head at the time too is I know where some of those watch parties are, and I know friends who are in those different watch parties, and you can throw out little personal tidbits here and there too, which just you're trying to. Well, it relaxes me too when I make it a little more personal. Yeah. And when you're being welcomed into the band hall, you're welcomed into someone's study or their home or their living room or however they've got it hooked up.
There you go. Yeah.
And you realize the time zone differences, that some people it's like 3 o'clock in the morning somewhere, and they're trying to stay awake.
It can be a bit crazy. Yeah, because it's maybe like 12 o'clock in the afternoon and it's like 2 in the morning. It's mad trying to get your head around all of that, for sure. So,
and by the end of the day too, you've been talking straight through the entire day, which I'm not used to doing. So, you're doing some lozenges just to keep your throat a little bit lubricated so you don't totally lose your voice and start hacking away into the microphone, although you do have a cough button.
I see, yeah.
And then there are other things too that, you've got a director and a producer's button that if you think that there's a really interesting point that they might want to put one of the cameras on, for example, on that Inverary medley. I knew the structure of the medley. Yeah. And I thought it'd be a good point for them to put the camera directly at the reprise at the end on the pipe major. So I hit the director's button, said, you might want to focus on. So I hear in my earpiece, focus on. And so I see the one camera that's not live on him, and then the director hits it and they're into the reprise and it's totally focused on him. Yeah. And then I saw the emotion on his face at the end, and down came the tear, and I thought, why did I recommend that they do that? Because if a friend gets emotional, I get emotional, and it's me. I'm a big softie when it comes to that. But it was a special moment.
Absolutely. That was lightning in a bottle. And I'm so glad the camera was there, because I did portray and put that across, that this isn't just going through the motions, playing to the end of the bar. This meant something,
Yeah.
And I think even your commentary during that moment, Bob, as well, says, Stuart, you big softy.
I know when he came off the stage to do the interview after receiving the trophy and do the interview with Jackie on the field, and he came to me first and gave him a big hug, and I whispered in his ear. There might have been an expletive that I did whisper in the sentence. I said, "You are a big softy," and his reaction was this: I know, Bob. I've got to do something about that.
Oh, but even the video I've seen of the replay of it now has hundreds of thousands of views. It seems to be not just the piping world is engaging with that medley, but the music world in general. And people are still talking about that Inverary medley today. It did have a huge impact, didn't it?
Well, you think about, first off, using this highly melodic John McClellan of Dunoon tune, and then bringing that in the reprise. And it's the 150th anniversary of his birth.
Yeah.
And the pipe sergeant, Allie Henderson, is a descendant of John McClellan of Dunoon.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
And as they're doing the reprise, and where it got me, is they just slip in a phrase or two from Lochenside, another John McClellan of Dunoon composition.
And it harmonized perfect.
That was absolute gold. That's so clever and so well orchestrated. It's raised the bar. And all the bands know it. It's raised the bar. And if you think that bands are sitting back on their haunches just putting medleys together right now for the sake of putting a good medley together, no, they're saying, look, the bar was raised and we have to reach for that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And and maybe when Scottish Power came on a few years ago, was it Castle Dangerous?
That was Power, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that when they did that, I think it was a head shaker for a lot of the bands because it was positively received by adjudicators and the audience, and you realize you don't have to come in with razzmatazz to engage the audience. You can come in with melody, a strong melody, and one that the audience can relate to.
Yeah.
And so I think there have been a lot of things that foreshadowed what happened in that medley this past year.
I see.
And I think we're going to see much of the same this coming year, I hope.
That's it. So there has been a lot of steps along that road. You're quite right. Mm-hmm. And we've noticed that even a lot of bands now are looking back through their back catalogue. Like there's Field Marshal this year, and everyone calls it the Tribute Medley, and all those old sets from over the years. A lot of bands are doing this now. Do you think that that'll be another trend that we perhaps see going forward? It's an interesting one. There's a lot of bands with signature sets, isn't there?
Yeah, I know the 78s did that with one of their medleys, which was kind of a throwback medley.
Yeah.
Which, you could. They've always been a great concert band.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Creative. And with Michael Gray at the helm, I think you could.
Yeah, I'm just looking over at my shelf over here. I have the 78th Live in Ireland. Like, what an iconic album. It still stands up. I was actually listening to it this morning. So have you got a favourite concert recording? And I know this is a difficult question to ask, but with so many iconic concerts over the years, you mentioned 70th. That's up there for me. That's one of my favourites.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when they redid it during Celtic Connections with a lot of guest performers and that whole week and watching that evolve, and people like, Ross Walker and Richard Parks and Ian Duncan and Stuart Little, they were all involved in it, and they had the material off.
Yeah.
That was
a big
special week.
Too. Yeah.
Watching it evolve, like at the start of the week, I have to tell you, because John Wilson and I were going to MC this thing, and we were taking notes, and it was pandemonium, tonally and everything else. And then it was, as the week went on, things got sorted out sound-wise. And as it got sorted out sound-wise, it got sorted out in terms of unison and everything, and confidence. And
it just clicked.
And by the time, and it was interesting that one number in the recording, the original recording, where in Journey to Sky and the one early chanter.
The early chanter, yeah.
It happened again. And I know there was a lot of finger pointing going on. So someone did that intentionally.
It sounded like it almost in the room. It's like, oh, they brought the early chanter in. That's brilliant. They're recreating it. Yeah. But was that an accident? Hard to know, I guess.
The leadership is saying, yes, it was an accident.
Right.
But I think there was a certain individual who just was having a giggle and just kind of did it, and it wasn't not one of the leadership team.
Right. Okay.
And
cool.
So that was good. That, of course, that concert stands out, and And I would say that reprise concert as much or more than the original. And the audience was so engaged because they knew every number that was coming.
There was people singing along that were sitting next to me, and they were like humming along with it, you know?
Yeah. And, a couple of those field marshal concerts were just stunning sound, stunning music, start to finish, just polish, absolute polish.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the Inverary concerts, the creativity and everything very different again. SFU, great concert band.
Absolutely.
And singing and Pibroch and all of that. It's just, and those are great numbers that they've done at those concerts. Absolutely terrific numbers.
100%. Some of the big suites, like the Beaches of Harris,
yes.
I just start throwing out names now. But
They did that at Winter Storm. We did the Beaches of Harris, number. There were a number of people from the SFU organization who were at Winter Storm last year, and Terry Lee was one of the adjudicators, instructors. So we had them pull together and do the Beaches of Harris number.
Wow.
And at the concert at Winter Storm. And there was Terry out of retirement. He was just like Rab last year at that pre-Worlds concert. There was Terry right back in form. He was in the pipe major's role directing, and it was really great. And then, of course, the Shots concert this past year.
It's up there. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know another band that has, like, we're still playing them on the radio today, Bog Hall, and their Caberfy concert, and even all their older stuff as well.
Terrific.
You know, I don't know, there's so much great music out there. So I'm dead excited for this year's pre-Worlds concert, and I'm looking forward to it. It's always a good show. I think that's the problem with it. It sells out every year for that reason.
Yeah. And everyone's ready for it, and you've got such a huge component of the audience that have come in from overseas. From all over the world, and it's a night to get together and celebrate, and then get that up behind us, and then focus on Friday and Saturday.
That's it. That's where it's at. Well, I'm going to tell you a bit of a story I haven't actually said on the show, so here we go. I was at the concert this year, obviously for Shots, and in my row was all of the guys out of the Sons of Holy Land Pipe Band. Like, they were having a great time. Like, they were all like pints everywhere, cameras all taking selfies. This was great. But as soon as the band started playing, I think all the mouths hit the floor like, oh my word, this is something else. And, with the lights and everything and the cheering in the crowd, and I don't know. I think at the end of the show, all of them were left speechless. Like, what did we just see? So for a lot of people who might not have been to a pre-Worlds concert before, I can't recommend it enough. It is an experience. Listening to recordings and stuff is one thing, but you need to be there, don't you?
Yeah,
absolutely. Like the atmosphere, like I remember where I was when I seen St. Lawrence O'Toole back in 2010 at that concert, and the atmosphere in that concert hall was just, I don't know. I can't describe it in words.
When Terry Tully started off on the solo. And then Alan came in harmonizing from the wings.
That was something else. Yeah.
And I remember speaking with Terry when it was over and said, that was so emotional. That was so good.
Big moment,
and he said, I never thought I'd see the day that Terry Tully, he said, was standing center stage at the Royal Glasgow Concert Hall playing. And I know what he meant by that. And there was a subtext to that was very, very strong message. And I said, we've come a long way.
For sure.
It was terrific.
And, a serious amount of pipers and drummers never get that experience. But for those that do hit the stage, it seems now that a lot of them now get an appreciation for what it takes to be up there. Like, chatting to the guys out of Shots this year, they were going, oh my God, look where I am. Wow, look at this. Like, they were like, wow, I've made it kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah,
and so much of the music, too, is either composed and arranged by some of the younger guys in the band.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big thing, too. Like, to have an opportunity to, compose and arrange for a pipe band is a huge opportunity. But to put it on such a stage, that's something else. Yeah. I don't know. So we can wax lyrical about the pre-Worlds concerts and everything, but I do have actual pipe band questions I do want to ask you.
Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk.
Marchify, the brand new home of Flam 5 drumming. Check out their brand new Strike bagpipe case, inspired by their colourful, popular and reliable Flam 5 drum cases. The Strike bagpipe case combines durability, style and practicality, protecting every movement. Shop now at marchify.co.uk with worldwide shipping available. Marchify, every movement protected.
Hello, this is John Dew, and you're listening to the Big Rab Show.
So, over the course of the holidays, one of the topics that we've been exploring, I think, is the mystery world of ensemble. And it kind of brings us back to the emotion that we've seen with Inverarity's performance. And that's one of the things we've spoke about before about ensemble, Bob, is that emotional impact. You know, you need a tune to move you, I think, as well as be technically brilliant, I guess. But is that one of the things, as an ensemble judge, that you're really focusing on? Is not so much the technicality and the perfection element, it's more of the emotional drive of the music.
Yeah, there's some things in ensemble that are much easier to define. Are the chorus totally integrated, rhythmically, technically, all of that stuff?
Yeah.
Are they on the same page musically? So what we're doing as pipers in terms of expression and phrasing is the score and how it's being presented in terms of dynamics complementing that or not complementing that. So there's that kind of musical integration. Are we all on the same page musically? And then there's the tonal side of it in terms of balance of sound and everything else. And the harmonies come into that too, where, the harmonies are there, but can I hear them? Or they're too dominant, etc. Right. You know, accurate tuning of tenors and the voicing there. Are they tuned where they need to be tuned? And a tonal balance between the choruses. So those are kind of the tick-off, easy to define ones.
Yes,
and
it's in the tune. No, it's not. Yes, this harmony works. No, it doesn't. There you go.
Then it's that as you said, emotional side. It's that emotive component of the performance, and is the music and how it's being presented. And sometimes it's the tune choice. It might be when the harmonies come in, percussion space, lack of, how that's being orchestrated. Is that really emotionally pulling the audience into that performance and carrying you through that musical journey, which is a medley, or not? Or, you know, we've probably all listened to medleys and say, oh, this is good, this is rocking. And I say, okay, I'm ready for a break. Too much.
Sometimes,
it's gone too far. And where you lose the engagement of the audience. Yeah. And that's a tricky. There's a sweet spot on that. You know, you want the audience. You want to leave them wanting more, but you don't want to leave them wanting less.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I love that.
But the emotional engagement, and you hear that from audience reaction at the end of medleys, where. Oh, that was really good. And you hear people cheering. Yeah. But when you hear people really cheering, and it's not because, you know, aunts and uncles and cousins are in the sidelines. No. Yeah. It's everybody is emotionally engaged to the end of the performance. And I've heard great medleys where all of a sudden at the end, I go, that final tune and the way it's presented, it's going on too much. And you just sense, you emotionally sense that the audience is losing interest.
And almost checking out before you hit the final bar. Yeah.
And then they finish, and it's a polite applause. And you think, if they finished or put a different tune in at the end or presented it differently, you'd hear the crazy cheering that you want to hear.
That's it. Yeah, I love that. If anything, one of the things that, we've got a lot of drummers work on the team, and they've been all talking about what Stephen McWhirter had done with the drum corps. And look, we all know that Stephen produces the best drum corps, and they can absolutely thump a tune if they want to. But on this medley in particular, I know we're sounding like we're talking about this medley a lot, but the drummers took a conscious choice not to punch through, but to actually sit back and play less and let the pipers sing for a bit and then come back and then do their thing. So, I don't know, do you think that could be something that we'll see more of in competitive medleys going forward?
I think we have, with a number of the bands, we've started to see that a number of years ago. In fact, he did that with the medley where I think it was The Water is Wide. And the snares totally cut out. Mm-hmm. And then Mike Cole, who was living in Chicago at the time, Maryland now, he's moved to the States, in the States to the Washington area. Yeah. But he was guesting with them that summer, and he came in just with some subtle bass work, and then the tenors came in, and then the snares came in. And I think my comment at the time was, that just goes to prove that less is more.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's dynamics at its core means excitement. Mm. And when it's in your face all the time, people lose engagement. But when you give space and then you come back in, that creates the excitement. That's dynamics.
There you go.
And so it's been happening with a number of the bands. It happens in terms of dynamics range.
Yeah. And
to the point that you've got the dynamics range, but down here, cut it all together and create some space. Yeah. And maybe that's to establish a melody line, a key phrase of something, or when you maybe repeat a part where it's got great impact. There's no percussion support at all.
Yeah.
Which is a form of support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like in a choir singing, and the choir cuts out, and there's a soloist. Yes. The impact that has, and then they come in. Well, that's giving support to the soloist. Well, or if the percussion cuts out, that's giving support to the pipe corps.
Yeah.
I think it would be really good if we were able to liberalize rulings around medley performance, where we could have more of. It might be the pipe corps cutting out.
Yeah, we spoke about this last year, like chanter chokes and stuff, and there was a lot of experimentation with that, and that's risky,
That could go further.
Yeah, see, that's it. It's I don't know. Will we see more of it going forward? It shows control of your instrument. I understand it, but there's so much that could go wrong as well. I know myself from band practice. There's times where it just goes totally wrong. Yeah, that's another string to the bow.
Starting off with a soloist.
Yeah. Like a lot of the backup bands do this a lot.
Totally.
In and out all the time.
We had it with one of our bands in Ontario. Did it? This is going way back into the 70s. It started with the soloist introduced the piece, and then the band joined in and marched in. It was great impact.
That's what I was going to say. You have that build up and then that punch whenever everyone comes in. Impact. You go. So I don't know. I think the future for piping and drumming is in a very good place right now. I think there's a lot of very clever musicians at the helm of these bands that are doing great work. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's so much of it in any kind of musical group. It comes down to leadership, and then does the leadership recognize and utilize all the talents within the band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going on today, that pipe corps are full of some very, very talented musicians.
Yeah.
So it might be one or two that are working on the harmonies, and maybe they go a little bit beyond where they should be going, and then the leadership can pull it back. Yeah. But utilizing those skills, utilizing the skills, whether they be, being able to write harmonies effectively, it could be people who are really in touch with the whole folk scene and being able to find tunes that would work extremely well in a pipe band, being able to do that arranging. But, at the same time, you need to have strong leadership that knows when to rein some of those people in.
That's it too, because you can't go too far over the bridge. Yeah, way to the other side of the river. I know what you mean.
And I think back to the kind of the days of the leadership of Bill Livingston with the 78th Frasers. He had some extremely talented composers within the band.
Absolutely.
So he knew how to utilize the strengths of Michael Gray and Bruce Gandy and others, but also know when to rein them in. Say, love it, but maybe not that piece, or change that. That would work better if. And because he had such a great musical sense of what would work.
Very conscious of the voice that the band had. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, no, I don't know. Definitely wise words. And I think, there's a lot of young guns in there. Like I don't know. I've been looking at the membership of a lot of our Grade 1 big guns, and a lot of them are young fellas. I don't know. Like, I'm in my 40s. I can't really, I don't know. Am I still? No, I'm not young. But these guys are like just coming out of uni in a lot of cases. And some of them are even still in uni. And the musicality, I don't know. People talk to me about the future of piping, and I said, you just need to look at these bands and look at these youngsters coming through. Some incredibly talented folk. Yeah. I don't know. It's in a good place. Well, I need to also ask you about the world's live stream. And we did briefly touch on it there about watch parties and everything. Well, the number one question that everyone asks is about the drinking game. Yeah. But you actually, this year, you handed me a QR code for the drinking game. So, I don't know. Has this year's drinking game been a challenge for you?
I don't know. Once we go live, I don't really give it, honestly, much thought. Yeah. Every now and then a word will come out of my mouth, and I thought, that'll be it.
Oh, it's in there.
That'll tip them off. But it's good fun. And, I've had people say, are you offended about all this? I said, not at all. It takes an awful lot when it comes to that kind of thing to offend me. It's engaging people. People are having fun. People love it. It's for me, it's one of, if not my favorite pipe band day of the year. And to play a little role in kind of bringing people together in that it's an incredible honor. I can't tell you how much of an honor it has been over the last 20 years. So, so the drinking game is good fun. And I remember speaking to the BBC folks about this. I said, by the way, this is something that is going on in the wings right now.
Oh, right. So even the bosses at the BBC are aware of it now?
Well, and I said, should I maybe not mention that or whatever? Yeah. And they were fine with it. And
cool.
I thought, they might be, Bob, you might want to tone this one down.
Yeah.
So I just keep it kind of low-keyed in that those of you who are playing your usual Worlds game, just please do it responsibly today.
That's it. Maybe don't completely knock yourself out after the first MSR. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. You can do some serious damage, though. I have seen some of the drinking games, the sort of the bingo card, and a lot of them are very common phrases that everyone would use when talking about piping.
Of course.
I just don't know. Yeah, so good luck to you out there if you are taking part in those drinking games, but please do drink responsibly. Yeah.
I was listening to a program last night on television, and I'm trying to think what it was dealing with. It was a historical thing, but there was, and it was British, but all of a sudden this word came out, and I went, oh,
right.
And I can't remember it now.
It was a bit close to the knuckle, was it?
Is there a word like sublurious or something like that? But anyway, I quickly I Googled it and went, oh, yes, that could apply, but maybe in a negative sense to a pipe band performance.
Yeah.
But
that happens a lot now, like especially from media that was made back in the 60s and 70s. Even like a lot of those old Carry On movies and stuff that you would see, and you're like, never make that nowadays.
No. Malcolm McRae from Australia one time, I forget, we were judging together somewhere. It was a solo contest. And that night, and Malcolm's very serious, but on one there's this sense of humor that is dry, and it's very, 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 very clever. And he said, for the live stream this year, here's a little something that might help you along. And he gave me an envelope, and I went, what's this?
Wow, okay.
He said, have a look at it.
Yeah.
Whenever. So he walked away with a smirk on his face. I opened up this envelope, and he had a whole series of terms that you could use to apply to a pipe performance. Wow. And they were really clever, really, really clever. But
I love that. So people are helping you out with possible scripting. There you go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's smashing. Yeah. But honestly, I know I've said this before, Bob, that you absolutely are the voice of pipe bands for hundreds of pipe and fans all around the world. And the amount of compliments that we get for your running commentary, even on the BBC Scotland show as well, where sometimes the commentary can be really limited. They have to cut for time and everything. But a lot of your insights as well for non-piping fans, they learn so much from what you're able to explain to them in like a 10-second window of time.
Yeah, and it is a 10-second window of time because they asked me to talk during all the performances.
Yeah.
And then they use a snippet from that Bog Hall performance, and I've said something right there that we could edit that into the program.
Yeah, they just pluck
so they
that
want me
a little
to
bit.
do a lot of talking. Yeah. And so the snippets that they use tend to be ones where that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the one we'll use, or that's the one we'll use, etc. So what I say at the end of the performance, you're just hearing the performance with no commentary, but there was commentary throughout it.
Yes.
And so then I'm jotting notes down to try to encapsulate 3 or 4 of the key things that I may have mentioned during the performance. And so it's challenging.
I was going to say, that's quite intense. That's a lot of work, for each performance as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, now what happens is Jackie Bird, if she's doing interviews out of the chute, she's got an earpiece in, so she's hearing what I'm saying during the performance.
I see, yeah.
So if there were some problems, she's
aware of it.
She knows
then.
Not to be too positive when the pipe major comes out, because the pipe major is going to be a bit wound up.
Yeah.
But if it's been an extremely positive performance from a musical, tonal, technical standpoint, she can really come on strong with the pipe major because she knows the pipe major is really delighted with what they. Yeah. But I think the year, not this past year, the year before, and I think it might have been Chris Armstrong with Scottish Power, where she's interviewing Chris, and she said that was really a strong performance, and he said, "Oh, thank you," and she said, "I think you really managed to sustain your sound really well throughout that performance." And
right.
There's this pause, and he looked at her and said, "I know who you've been talking to."
Oh, excellent. That little voice in her ear there. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, if anything, thank you for all your continued hard work on that. The live stream is just such a pleasure for everyone tuning in every year. And to everyone, again, if you are taking part in the drinking game, please go easy. Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you go at this point, but again, thank you for joining us on the show this week. Really appreciate it. And to everyone listening right now, the happiest of Christmas, happy holidays, and all that stuff, indeed. And Bob, hopefully it won't be another full year until we catch up with you again. No doubt we'll catch you on the grass again. Yeah.
We'll see you in August on the green, and all the best for the Christmas season.
Thank you so much, Bob. There you are. A massive thank you to Bob Worrall for joining us on the show this week. And Mr. Christmas, I think he lives up to the nickname, doesn't he? Yeah, he joins us here on the show every holiday, and it's just brilliant. You know, it's such a good time. So yeah, again, huge thank you to Bob for joining us on the show this week. Great to catch up with you. And yeah, here's hoping that it won't be a full year before we catch up with him again, you know. Yeah, but no doubt we will catch him on the grass in Glasgow. Absolutely. We'll catch up then, I'm sure. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. A bit of an entertaining conversation. Next week's Big Rab Show podcast is a doozy. This is one that we've had it in the works now for a long time. Now, for folks over there on Patreon, you've already received the early release version of this and the video and all that stuff. So, yeah, shout out to our Patreon faithful who know what's coming up next week. But next week's Big Rab Show pod is a big one. All right. Now, that's not to say that Bob Worrall's not a big one, because that was absolutely a killer interview. Would love that. But yeah, we've got some other big names in the piping scene over the course of the next few weeks. To bring you here in future Big Rab shows. So if you would like to catch that, of course, you can subscribe, you can follow, all that sort of usual stuff. So you'll never miss another episode. Yeah, so we have a lot more to get into over the course of the holidays. And we'll hopefully keep you well enough entertained indeed. All right, folks, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thank you all for downloading this week and each and every week. And here, don't forget to tell your mates about our wee show, about what we're doing over here, talking about what we know and love to be the music of the great Highland bagpipe and its people. Sure, where else would you be? Well, folks, again, a very, very happy Christmas from all of us here on the Big Rab Show team. We hope the fella in the big red suit skites down the chimney and brings you what you want. And if you do manage to get any good bagpipe and swag, then absolutely do send us in a little quick photograph for that to say, hey, Rob, look at this, what I got. Yippee. Yeah, so if you did manage to get anything that was on our 12 Products of Christmas episode, that was a couple of weeks ago now, yeah, let us know. And we'll certainly share that out in our socials to, say, hey, look at these cool set of pipes this guy got. Yippee. That kind of thing. So yeah, a very heartfelt happy Christmas from all of us in the Big Rab Show. We're going to be taking a bit of a well-earned break over the course of the next 2-3 weeks, but we do have some special episodes to keep you well enough entertained over the next while. So yeah, don't forget, email us in if you do like what you hear, or even if you don't. And we'll bring your listener mail to a future episode, bigrabshow@gmail.com. There you are. All right, folks, that's it. I am out the door. And from all of us, a very Merry Christmas. All the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.